And one day he said, "You know what happened. You know that Will R worded me, or however y'all kind of say it on YouTube. You know that Diddy sexually assaulted me, and you know Charlie Mack made me suck his private part." Right? And I'm like, whoa, this was a full admittance.
Seriously, how many people have been caught up in situations connected with Will and Jada? Because the Bryshere story keeps getting darker, and now former castmates like Taraji are speaking about the serious struggles he has faced. Some people believe his experience could be part of a much bigger conversation about what young entertainers go through behind the scenes.
This ain't crazy talk. I know it happened, bro.
Well then,
I know.
so what, you want to tell it or not? Because either you're going to hold it in and let it destroy your life, or you just going to tell it now, or you don't even have to tell it. You want other people to tell, but see, people are now going to sit there and say stuff for you, Bryshere, and then you get scared and be like, oh.
Taraji understands how difficult it can be to survive in Hollywood, and what she reportedly learned about Bryshere's situation left her convinced that he was dealing with enormous pressure from a very young age. A lot of the discussion around Bryshere has focused on how things appeared to fall apart after what was described as a mentorship involving Will and Jada. Critics have questioned whether the people around him truly had his best interests at heart. Recently, Bryshere went live with a friend and became emotional while talking about his life.
So what's bothering me is that being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in a celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, bullshit sometimes. And
Viewers felt he was hinting that painful experiences had affected him deeply. He appeared to suggest that there were things he wanted to discuss publicly, but that fear was holding him back from speaking openly. When Bryshire's friend was asked how and why the video became public, he said, "Bryshere is afraid to discuss what has happened to him publicly out of fear that was placed in him manipulatively." He also added, "While we were speaking, I told him I feel the need to put this out because he's going to continue to suffer internally if he thinks those around him don't care about his welfare and mental health. Plus, it shows everyone that this is how he is mostly normal and not a madman out of control unless something stimulates him."
You are not the fault of the things that happen to you, okay? You did not lose any, listen, listen. You did not lose any, listen, Brian. Listen.
Go ahead.
You did not lose anything. You had a little trouble, and it happens. Just get back.
Those comments quickly got people talking, with many wondering what Bryshere has been carrying for so long, and whether there is still much more to this story than the public knows. He continued by saying, "Plus, it's the only way to keep him untapped from suppressing secrets of perverts who wanted to bring him down when not working with him." That statement immediately sparked intense reactions online. The comment section quickly filled with people encouraging Bryshere to speak his truth and not let fear keep him silent. Many supporters argued that if he had been treated unfairly, he deserved the chance to tell his side of the story and be heard. Others in the industry have also shown support. Terrence Howard has often spoken highly of Bryshere, and many fans believe people close to the situation witnessed the pressures and challenges he faced during his rise to fame. As speculation continues, supporters say they want answers about what really happened behind the scenes.
Besties, this till today is still one of the scariest transformations I've ever seen in my life. To go from this fine, young, rich, millions of followers, you know what I'm saying? You could start any business you want. You could do whatever you want. You are known around the world. Into this?
Taraji, meanwhile, is reportedly unwilling to stay quiet while Bryshere continues to struggle publicly. According to various claims and online discussions, she believes the people who may have played a role in his difficulties should be held accountable if any wrongdoing occurred. Some critics have specifically pointed toward Will and Jada, questioning whether the mentorship opportunities associated with them truly benefited young performers or created additional pressure for rising stars. These remain allegations and opinions that have been widely debated online.
I pulled him to the side. I said, listen, I'm here to help you and so forth and so on. So he was like, all right, I feel that. But he kept acting up. And then one day I said, what the F is wrong with you? And he was like, you know. He said, you know Will raped me. You know Diddy made me suck. You know what's going on. You know Charlie made me. And I said, I have no idea what's going on.
At the start of his career, Bryshere's future looked incredibly bright. He was building a name for himself as a rapper and gaining attention at music events across Philadelphia. He even opened for major artists like 2 Chainz and Fabulous. The talent was obvious, the confidence was there, and many people believed he was destined for something much bigger. That's one reason industry figures like Charlie Mack reportedly saw major potential in him and wanted to help expand his opportunities beyond Philly.
I'm watching him, he's with my man Charlie Mack, so Charlie was with me every step of the way. First out the limo, so Charlie has been with me, 30 years coming up in the business. So, he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love. And all he has to do is add discipline, and he's going to be all right.
When Bryshere landed the role of Hakeem on Empire in 2015, it seemed like everything was falling into place. He was still a teenager when he secured the role, making the achievement even more remarkable. That same year, he signed a record deal with Columbia Records. The industry buzz around him was massive, with many comparing his charisma and crossover appeal to Will Smith's early career. Not long after, Will publicly announced that he would mentor Bryshere and help guide him through the next stage of his journey in entertainment. Taraji has spoken in the past about the power dynamics that can exist in the entertainment business. According to various accounts and industry rumors, some aspiring performers have long believed that influential gatekeepers hold enormous control over who gets opportunities and who does not. Stories like these have circulated for years, although many of the claims remain unverified and heavily disputed. Over time, numerous rumors have surfaced involving major figures in music and television.
So she's sitting down here watching, playing with herself, high as a kite, right? Not caring who's in the house, whether kids watching, nothing. She's in her own world. So that's how I was able to see the tapes. I saw them, and I saw some things that were unreal, and I saw celebrities on the tape.
Oh. Online discussions have linked names such as Diddy, Clive Davis, Quincy Jones, Benny Medina, and Will Smith to different stories about how careers were built behind the scenes. However, many of these claims are based on speculation, secondhand accounts, or internet rumors, rather than confirmed facts. One of the most repeated stories focuses on the early development of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. According to long-standing entertainment industry stories, Kid and Play were reportedly considered during the early stages of the project because of their popularity following their music success and the release of House Party. The story further claims that Benny Medina later became interested in Will Smith because of his growing reputation as a rapper and performer. As the story is often told, Will was introduced to Quincy Jones and eventually auditioned for the role. What is publicly known is that Will secured the part, and the show became one of the most successful sitcoms of its era.
And that's what we did. So they, that deal went away. That's the deal and Jeff and them, Will and them slid right up in that. That was the shit. We'd have had that shit first. We'd have had both.
Oh yeah, Quincy Jones said,
how'd that work out? What happened to Will Smith? What happened to that guy?
He does movies every so often,
Beyond that, many of the more sensational claims that circulate online remain unproven and are widely debated. Comedian Bert Kreischer has also shared stories about interactions he had while navigating the entertainment industry. In one account, he described being invited to discuss a possible role and later becoming cautious after speaking with his father. His comments have fueled additional speculation online, though there is no verified evidence supporting many of the conclusions people have drawn from those stories.
He was like, they have a movie theater there? I was like, Dad, I don't know. Maybe we'll go get lunch there and dinner and then we'll go to the movies? And he was like, oh, buddy, he's trying to fuck you. I go, what? And he goes, listen, this is very popular in Hollywood. These guys have had so much pussy, they get tired of it, and so they're trying to turn out young boys.
According to online speculation, Jada was allegedly brought into Bryshere's circle to help him feel more comfortable as he adjusted to the pressures of fame. From there, a number of rumors began circulating about the nature of their relationship. However, none of these claims have been substantiated with reliable evidence. Taraji has been mentioned in some discussions about the challenges young performers face, but many of the specific stories being shared online remain unverified. Some commentators have argued that young entertainers can become heavily dependent on powerful industry figures for guidance, opportunities, and support. In situations like that, it can be difficult to separate professional relationships from personal loyalty. Supporters of Bryshere often say he may have felt enormous pressure as his career grew and expectations continued to rise around him. As more stories spread across social media, people began searching for explanations for Bryshere's struggles. Various former associates, insiders, and online personalities have shared their own theories about what may have happened behind the scenes. Many of these accounts conflict with one another, making it difficult to determine what is fact and what is speculation. Terrence Howard's public support for Bryshere has also drawn attention, with fans pointing to it as evidence that some people close to him were concerned about his well-being. What is publicly known is that Bryshere faced several personal and legal challenges in the years following his rapid rise to fame.
But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
His acting and music career slowed down significantly, leading many observers to question what factors contributed to that decline. The full story remains the subject of ongoing debate online. According to various online reports and rumors, Taraji P. Henson has allegedly reached out to Bryshere in an effort to support him during difficult periods of his life. However, there is no public confirmation of the private conversations that people claim took place. Supporters of Bryshere often point to these stories as evidence that some people in the industry remain concerned about his well-being and future.
So she's sitting down here watching, playing with herself, high as a kite, right? Not caring who's in the house, whether kids watching, nothing. She's in her own world. So that's how I was able to see the tapes. I saw them, and I saw some things that were unreal, and I saw celebrities on the tape.
Oh. At the same time, social media discussions have continued to speculate about possible tensions between different celebrities connected to the story. Some online commentators have suggested that Taraji and Jada may not see eye to eye, but there is no verified evidence publicly confirming the reasons behind those claims. Much of the conversation is based on fan theories and assumptions rather than established facts. Many people following Bryshere's situation have expressed frustration over the challenges he has faced and have searched for someone to blame. Others argue that the reality is likely far more complicated, involving personal decisions, industry pressures, and circumstances that are not fully known to the public. While strong accusations continue to circulate online about several well-known figures, many of those claims remain unproven, and the complete story behind Bryshere's struggles is still unclear. What makes the story even more controversial is that people are now looking back at old interviews, old appearances, and old comments, trying to connect the dots. Every time a new clip surfaces, social media lights up with fresh theories about what may have been happening behind the scenes during Bryshere's rise to fame. Some viewers believe there were warning signs that were missed, while others argue that people are reading too much into moments that may have had completely different explanations. At the center of all this is a bigger question about how young stars are treated once they enter the entertainment industry. Bryshere went from being a teenager with huge dreams to becoming one of the most recognizable faces on television almost overnight. That kind of success can bring money, attention, and opportunities, but it can also bring pressure that few people are prepared to handle. Supporters say the public should focus less on rumors and more on understanding what Bryshere has experienced over the years. They point to his personal struggles and public setbacks as signs that something clearly changed after his rapid rise to fame. Whether more details eventually come out or not, the growing interest in his story shows that many people still believe there are unanswered questions surrounding his journey through Hollywood. As the conversation continues to grow, more people are questioning how many young entertainers have faced similar struggles without anyone paying attention. Bryshere's situation has sparked wider discussions about mentorship, influence, and the responsibilities that come with having power in the entertainment business. Many fans believe that when a young performer enters the spotlight, there should be stronger support systems in place to help them navigate the pressures that come with sudden fame. Another reason this story keeps gaining attention is because Bryshere's rise and fall happened so publicly. One moment he was being celebrated as one of television's brightest young stars, and the next, headlines were focusing on legal troubles, personal challenges, and career setbacks. That dramatic shift left many people wondering what happened behind the scenes and whether warning signs were overlooked along the way. Social media has only added more fuel to the debate, with users constantly sharing clips, interviews, and old articles in an attempt to piece together a timeline. Some believe these details reveal a larger pattern, while others argue that assumptions are being treated as facts without enough evidence. Regardless of where people stand, the public interest has not faded. For many observers, the biggest unanswered question remains whether Bryshere will eventually decide to tell his full story himself. Until then, speculation is likely to continue, and every new development will keep drawing attention back to one of Hollywood's most talked about mysteries. At the end of the day, there are still far more questions than answers surrounding Bryshere's story. Over the years, countless rumors, theories, and allegations have circulated online, but much of what people discuss remains unverified. What is clear is that Bryshere experienced a dramatic rise to fame, followed by a series of personal and professional struggles that continue to attract public attention. His journey has become part of a much larger conversation about fame, mentorship, industry pressure, and what happens when young performers are suddenly pushed into the spotlight. Some people believe there are important details that have yet to come out, while others caution against treating speculation as fact. Until more information becomes available, much of the debate will remain exactly that, a debate. What nobody can deny is that Bryshere's story has left a lasting impression on fans who watched his career take off and then witnessed the challenges that followed. Many are still hoping to see him find stability, rebuild his career, and move forward in a positive direction. As always, remember that allegations, rumors, and online claims should be viewed carefully, and everyone involved deserves fairness when discussing these situations. What do you think about everything that's been said regarding Bryshere's rise, struggles, and the ongoing speculations surrounding his career? Do you believe there is more to this story that has not been revealed yet? Or do you think the public has already seen the full picture? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with others who are following this story. Also, drop your thoughts in the comments below because we want to hear what you think. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.